Are we looking? Check 1 2. Check 1 2. 2 1.
Sit
check
down.
1 2 3.
Sit down.
Ah.
You know what? You need like a throne right there, Jeff.
That is a throne, man. Look at that thing. It's environmentally friendly. It's made out of leaves. How you feeling, Bodie? Looks good.
Chilling.
Framed up.
It's looking solid.
We live.
Now we'll just chill for a little bit. Let all
Okay.
the homies come pull up. They want to
Pull
be
up,
a
pull
part
up.
of it.
Let's keep the volume down in this room.
Yeah, probably gotta close that door. I'm gonna get it. Live on YouTube, do not enter. Alright. Yo, what's up? I don't know, does it? I mean, we can definitely go, that didn't work at all, but we can click on this and just boom, bang. But I kinda like, having that, oh, here we go, boom. There we go, chilling. Just leaving ping pong paddles all over the place here. What is this?
No, I don't use that paddle.
Hey, actually, Ryan, if you want to jump into the YouTube stream as well, you could probably
Check it out.
Yeah, be answering people's questions and stuff too.
Oh yeah, do want me
Just on your computer.
on this one?
Yeah.
Okay. Under my own name.
Yeah.
Just that.
You're like, who is this guy? You're like, what's up? I'm Ryan. I'm the new guy. I'm the new guy.
Do a kickflip.
Dude, my balance is so rough today.
Dude.
Been stuck on the couch for a minute. I tore, what did I tear? My hip flexor? Yeah, I tore my hip flexor playing softball, rounding second base. Like an old man.
Who would have thought softball would be your
Dude, that's my kryptonite, man. And that was a while ago. That was like a month and a half.
We're watching you on the TV.
Oh, tight. How's my balance?
It's looking pretty good.
Nice.
Although, I guess in the slides it makes sense. You're in the
Yeah.
house.
It's a little tougher to hit that shove right now.
They're
man.
house shoes.
Not trying to spill trying to spill this booch.
Damn.
On the left side of the screen, you still see some of the green.
Oh, it came in.
All right,
Yeah.
All right, we ready, boys?
we got 24 people watching, I
Hold
guess.
on, everybody needs.
How many?
Everybody needs.
I
to see
think
this.
26.
Ooh.
Race for the rails coming up.
Sickish.
I got a race on a Vega.
Oh, damn.
Vegas make me slam. So I got the full body John. I had to buy red, but that's all right.
I mean, it's no pink. Yo, you think we leave it in the sun for a couple days? It might turn pink. Bleach it. Yo, I'll make sure we bleach that.
Oh, so we drinking now?
Dude, I feel like
Like a
Spider-Man. Holy shit.
Dude, you look like Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 1.
Let's say you look like the
That was
Flash,
sick
bro.
though. Dude, I can
Dang.
take slams right now, bro.
Yo, get on that balance board. Let's see what you got.
Yo, let me give you a little test for that.
Dude, punch him in the chest.
Ah!
Oh, that hurt my fist.
Yeah,
more,
don't
dude.
break your hand, dude.
Woo! Damn.
Alright, let's see if it gives me more balance.
Back strap, dude.
I don't know about the balance, but hit that tray flip.
I feel like it gives me more balance.
Yup. I think he's got it.
Hey, he's
All right,
back.
let's get this show
Alright,
on the
let's
road,
roll.
yeah?
Yeah, let's do this thing. Pads fit. We're stoked.
All right,
Is it
here we
a
go.
medium or
T minus 30 seconds.
What size is that?
Huh?
What size is that?
Wait,
Oh, no,
Ryan,
you're
you
in
get
the
king's
captain's
chair,
seat,
bro.
bud.
You're
What
the
are you
captain.
doing?
This
This
is
is
not my
Captain
shit.
Captain's
my
seat.
my
And watch your language. This is a family-friendly channel here, okay?
All right, cue the Uno.
All right, Ryan, hit it. Ryan's our engineer
Hit
today,
it.
so we're gonna be hollering at him.
Welcome to One Wheel Underground Circuit. The Uno.
Woo! How's it going, guys? Jeff,
Here,
Bodie,
cheers.
Thanks for
See you,
having me,
boys.
brothers.
Where's your booch, bro?
I gotta get boosted up.
Buddy will be right back.
Roll intro.
All I know is I'm glad I don't have a keg at my work, because that would be bad news.
Hey, here's what you gotta do. 2 taps, 1 beer, 1 kombucha.
Yeah.
Kombucha till noon, then you can hit the switch.
Jeff says
Whatever
there's
you want.
performance-enhancing, well, not drugs, into kombucha, so I'm gonna go hit TFL after this.
Hey, we snuck something into his drink. He's about to be peeking halfway through this. Don't worry about it.
How's it going? All right, well, we'll get to it. Bodie's got his kombucha. Let's get up to the first slide, which is Lake Tahoe. Boom. All right, little backstory. Actually, Austin had taken first. Did you hear about this, Jeff? There was
No,
some
what's going
question.
on?
So Austin took it, and then he pulled his time. And I think there was something to do about a log. Do you
Oh,
guys
did
know?
he hit the log ride?
He hit the log ride.
Oh, so I was talking to him about that. That's curious because I was asking. There's this one log that we always stop at that cuts the chicane section of the course, right? And I asked Austin. I was like, "Can you take the log?" And he said, "Well, if you make the whole log and lace it, then yes. But if you fall off the log early and don't make it, then no." And this log is difficult. Like, I almost made it last time, and I've ridden this course probably 20 times in my life, and I've never once made the log clean all the way. But we just cleaned up the landing on it, and it's still so difficult. And it's partway down the course too, so if you fall, you're screwed. You can't go back up and start again. You gotta ride all the way down.
So apparently he laced it.
Okay.
But he decided to pull his time. And I told him, I said, just take it off of like public and hold it, like in case you need it down the line. But
Yeah.
he deleted it, so it's gone.
Because
Okay.
of the log?
Yeah.
So you know the log we're talking
Wait, so
about,
he
right?
overachieved?
Well, he took the log route.
So is
Normally you go past the log. You know that balance log? Like after the cliff, or like right before the cliff little
Yeah.
drop? There's a balance log. It's a really long balance log. It's been in a ton of our videos. You know the one I'm talking about.
probably-
Regardless,
Oh!
it cuts off a good section of the course, but it's also really, really, really difficult. Like,
So it's like a Mario Kart shortcut.
totally. He jumped the wall on Wario Stadium. No, hold on, no. He hit the Rainbow Road
Oh, the drop?
jump. It's basically the Rainbow Road drop. Like, it's gnarly. Your
I think
chances
you
are
should
you're
put
gonna
his
miss
time
it.
back up.
Well, I'll have to talk to Austin about what actually went down.
Yeah.
But there was some discussion between Dave and him, and they decided that Austin was going to pull it. So
Okay.
Dave's
so,
still at the top. Austin number 2. Jamie, Jeff still hold number 4. Really, nothing has changed on that list. It's all the same.
Neil's time, that's his old time, right? Isn't that his time from
Yeah, I
last
don't
year?
think Neil has come up.
Okay, so I'm gonna be in 5th place real soon then.
Why is Neil going up there?
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, all right. I still haven't put a clean run down there, but we'll get it.
All right, so
But
yeah.
it looks like I don't think Ori's gonna put up any more times because he's from Ohio. Lars will probably go back and hit a couple more. Robert be out. Jesse's out. I don't think Floaty's gonna make it up here in time, but you never know. Usually he just like shows up randomly at the shop, and I have no idea who's coming, so it's very possible Floaty hits another line.
So about Ori, he actually showed up on LA. We'll talk about that later.
Sick.
All right, so next slide. All right, I rode this today, first time. I love it. I'll be honest, the video doesn't do it justice. I kind of was like, I don't want to fight geese and homeless people and stuff like that, but I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Sweet.
Really, the trick is you got to learn how to run up that hill, though. At least at my weight.
Yeah, the hill used to be makeable, and the whole reason we put the hill in is because we wanted a nudge in the course, and there's a nice log nudge that you have to pop over on that section of the hill. But there was also another nudge that we had originally planned on it, but that one got moved by some mountain bikers or some angry Terran hikers or some nonsense. So yeah, it's all about
the nudge is perfect. Like
all about the nudge.
it's almost like you guys had like carved that log for a nudge.
Yeah.
Or
we
he nudged it a few times.
We nudged it once or twice, so it's got a nice little pocket in there.
So you guys know, is Neil's time unbeatable?
No,
No?
no,
It's-
I don't think so.
Okay, I'm gonna put an asterisk on that. Neil's time is unbeatable if you're regular footed, I think. There's this one section that's an off-camber right-hand turn that drops down into these roots. And if you're goofy, Bodie can attest to this. We filmed it. We did a bunch of science and shit on it. if you're goofy, you can sit back on your heels and blast right through it. If you're regular, you have to be on your toes, and your board wants to roll out from
You're
underneath.
talking about that traverse that comes down and
Yup.
around.
You
Yeah.
hit like the roots, there's like
Yeah,
a
and
chunky
right after
root
the
section
roots.
and then it drops.
Yeah,
down.
I like that section. That's
It's
cool. It reminds
fun.
me of a snowboard, like coming down on like a hip or something. and
Yeah,
having to
yeah,
stay
yeah.
on an edge to come
Yup.
up.
It's like a little cat track spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm riding that, I'm going like from the very far right of the trail, from that through the center to the very far left at the end of that dip, and my heels are hanging off. I shift my heels back. So since I'm goofy, I can kind of adjust my feet, adjust my body, and it's pretty just straightforward. I can just blast through it. But Jeff and Elijah both tried it with various lines, and the board rolled every time. Like you can't blast through a regular foot.
Yeah, even with WTF rails, even with a super rounded tire, it's just regular foot. It's impossible to fly through there. You lose a few seconds, but
Yeah.
Bodie still hasn't given a solid run here yet.
That was my
Like,
sight lap with no pads.
yeah.
Okay.
And I've
So
been meaning to get back up there and hit it, but I've been busy lately.
yeah, and I still don't have a clean run through it either. So hopefully we'll get one in soon.
We're poorly representing our local trail, but we're gonna show up one day, freaking Jenny's,
Get it,
pads,
dude. Yep.
helmets,
Barbecue,
cameras,
case
lap
of
that shit
kombucha,
10 times.
Boombox.
I really want
Some
444.
natty ice.
My lucky number is 44, so I want to hit 444 on the course.
Oh yeah, it's super doable.
So the only thing new on there, Michael Watts. Michael Watts is an amateur, and he's really good. He's actually a newer rider. I think he only has like 8 months. He's putting it down. He got super serious. He's been messaging me, and he did a run. He's hitting all the spots. So he put some down some times. Number 5. That's pretty.
That's solid.
It's coming up.
Yeah, he kicked my ass.
He's San Diego, yeah?
Yeah, San Diego dude.
And speaking of boys down south, we got Dev from Santa Cruz is coming up here probably this weekend. So
Dev,
he's
no.
gonna be. These are all gonna change because
Yeah.
Dev is gonna put down some hot times.
I raced against Dev at Shred Fest, and he's fast.
Yeah, he's
so
Sick.
that was hard. I couldn't keep up.
He's all
Yeah.
style too.
Yeah.
All
Just
speed.
all style.
All
He goes. He
Yeah.
pushes super hard. He's one of those riders where like he has the speed 100%, but now he's just getting the line selection and consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's coming up, dude. I saw him at Shred Fest. He was on that day,
Yeah.
and he won all of his heats.
Yeah, he was
Until, like,
fast because I was
7th or
eating his
something.
dust the whole time.
Yeah.
So leaderboard 38. Yeah, so TFL's coming up. That's a lot of people, way more than I thought would be on these leaderboards. So good for SAC. I call it the dog town of one wheel.
Hey, I like that.
Hey,
Yeah.
All right,
cool.
so let's go to the
That's
next. Santa Cruz. We got ganja smuggling. Apparently, a lot of people love this. No offense to the Santa Cruz guys, not my favorite because I don't really like the navigation, but I do like the routes. So
That one route section is super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of, for me, maybe not you guys, but for me, it's just holding on for dear life through those things.
It's all about the line. You get the line right, you just sail right through it.
So we got Austin. I knew Austin would love it because he kind of likes the bonky jump, you know, him and Neil. Dave. Cade's still holding down number 3. But I called him out a while ago on one of the Unos. I'm like, is he a one-hit wonder? He hasn't hit any trails.
Well, that's his local trail.
It is,
He doesn't have to travel for
but
that.
Monterey's right down the street.
Dude, he's off surfing, man. He was just in Costa Rica getting barreled. Like, one wheeling's the last thing on his mind right now. Although they are prepping for a race for the rail.
I think they just took off.
They did today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cade's crazy. Cade, first of all, shout out Cade. He's really cool dude.
Big time.
Cade is a sleeper. I think him and Adam Laser, one of their 2 content guys.
Content.
Those 2 guys are the only two that work for One Wheel that are like riders. They get on a board and you're like, oh my gosh. Like Laser's throwing down no slides and nudges. Cade's been hammering. Cade, actually, it's funny, there's this clip that cycled way back in the day that they posted of Cade bombing down the bike path, going up to hit this berm with a cup of coffee in his hand.
I've seen it,
and
yes.
he gets burned.
Full eject.
Whoosh, onto his face, scorpion.
In fact, it's famous because when you ride with the Santa Cruz guys, they're like, "Hey, watch that! That's where Cade ate shit." This coffee.
Yeah. Yo, I knew Cade was fast. Raced for the rail 2 years ago when I was riding, and it was second to last race, right? It was me, Dom, Tahoe, Dave, and fucking Sam Roberts, Crispy. And I crashed, as I do at Race for the Rail every year. But Cade almost beat me while carrying the camera. He was the filmer. And he almost beat me. So I knew Cade was fast back then, you know. He's, like you said, he's a sleeper, man.
Well,
Watch
as
out
an
for
old
Cade.
school snowboarder that used to film a lot, I realized how good you can get by trying to keep up with fast people while filming.
Yeah.
If you could multitask like that, it makes you such a better rider.
I think that's what's turned me into a true racer. Like I used to just be a trick guy that could go fast, but after taking on this job and being around Jeff a lot, being around Neil a lot, and being around Austin and chasing everybody down with cameras and trying to do lead footage and shoot lead shots and make it look fast.
Yeah.
Like I think filming definitely pushed me faster because you have to be able to think about the shot and the camera and ride.
Yeah. Well, just one other thing I want to mention. We talked about Dev. He's at 7 there. Gavin, who is a Grom, just changed his name. He was using his dad's Strava. I've been talking to his dad. He's on the bubble for the AMs. We'll talk about that later. But I'd like to see him at the finals. Obviously, I'm not going to give freebies, but I think he can hold it down. Neil 9, which I'm kind of surprised, but we'll see what happens.
I talked to Neil about it. I don't think he got a clean run.
Yeah.
I think he was getting like dog walkers in the way because the Santa Cruz is tough. It's really, really skinny with a lot of blind turns and some chunk built in there too. So it's like if you have one person on the trail, it's not like a double track where you can just be like, yo, on your right and pass them. You're stuck.
Yeah.
If you get one person in front of you, your time is ruined completely. So
Yeah, and it's a weird place. It's like I call it the mall walkers. Like
Yeah.
in the morning, you gotta like you think you get there early, like oh I'll beat all the hikers. They're not. They're like mall walkers that get up at like 6 a.m. and go walk the trails.
yeah, it's how it goes. I was having a hot run and this family, I come around a turn, almost hit this family, and they're like, oh hey, do you know where the gift shop is? I'm like, what?
What gift shop?
There's no gift shop out there. I'm like the jail's right there.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And
You
about
wanna know
the
where the
jail,
commissary's at, but
I gave the guys crap. I said we should have named it like juvenile delinquent or
Yeah,
something like
that's
that
right.
after the like.
well, they're
juvenile
probably
hall.
in there for ganja smuggling anyway, so it's all good.
All right, 40 people on that leaderboard. Let's move on. Monterey. I like Monterey. It's got a little place in my heart. Probably one of my favorites. Just because it's so flowy and nice. How did you guys feel? You liked it?
Monterey was sick. The only complaint I have about Monterey is the people that don't weigh anything have a huge advantage. The whole last section of it is just this long road, like long fire road that just goes up and then does a 90 and then goes up even further. So if you're Lige or Austin or even Bodie or Jesse, like,
Yeah.
you know, props to
Or-
Dave
or
for
they-
breaking that.
Dave, I
Or
just
the
saw
Jews,
Dave post about his weight.
Yeah, Dave's losing weight.
170. Dave's 170, maybe just under 170 in that, and he's at the top.
Yo, here's my secret. I'm gonna take a bunch of IPAs out to race for the rail and just feed them to Dave, fatten them up before the race, you know?
So I actually went back and forth. I didn't want that hill in there,
Yeah.
but the idea was it puts a little leg burner in there. It kind of evens it out. I was cool actually after riding it. I mean, as a heavier guy, it's not to my advantage, but I get the understanding of what it's about.
Yeah.
If it's up to me and we do another season, I would like to keep this, but cut the uphill.
I agree. I would keep just the uphill where you come out of the single track
Yeah.
onto the road, and then you have that short, maybe 100-yard, maybe 75-yard
Oh, that's
uphill, like
Yeah.
right where you park. That should be the finish, and that would be like the perfect race course.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't want to make any promises for
But it'd be
next
even
year.
faster, it'd be even tighter, it'd be so
Yeah,
rad. But
yeah.
also, if you go out to Monterey, there's poison oak everywhere. You
Oh.
literally ride through tunnels of poison oak, so just heads up, don't lose your board.
I got it really bad.
Yeah.
In fact, I joked that I pretty much had poison oak for the last 2 months. Like at least some like minor infection from
Yeah.
poison oak.
Dude,
poison
between
oak.
this and Santa Cruz, it's like, yeah.
Well, and
Just
it's in slow too. It's on hazards.
Oh, perfect.
So anyway, all right, 37 on that. Nothing's really changed. We've got the Groms at the bottom. Teddy to do holding it down as a local, which he's doing good. I mean, he's really holding it down. So let's move on to the next. Fresno, my home. Unfortunately, my home city.
Oh, Michael Watts coming through.
Boom!
Okay. All right.
So, yeah.
Let's mix it up. I may
Yeah.
have to run it more than once.
Michael's fast.
So I know this is still wide open. I haven't even really run it that much because it's been so hot out there. I haven't even run it with the WTS, and I know I can beat my time. I hate to say it, no offense. I just want to beat Raquel.
I get it. I get it. She's fast. Well, even if you do, keep in mind this was just her sight lap. This was at the very end of our whole road trip when we were exhausted. And we're like, oh, screw it, let's go to Fresno. It's 108 degrees outside, and we're like, we're not running it more than once, and we just ran it once and called it a day. So, you beat her, she's gonna go back out there and kick your ass, just a heads up.
If I have time, I'm just gonna start going out every morning, like
Yeah.
when it's early, I'm just gonna until I start putting it down. So.
That's the move for sure.
But I still don't think that I'm gonna beat you or Dave, because that's a pretty significant time cut. You have to be going pretty fast, so. Other than that, it's all hold the same, nothing's changed.
Yeah, Fresno's wide open. If you're looking to get on the board and get as many points as you can, go to Fresno, because that one is the most open out of any of them.
Yeah, it's
For
just
sure.
hard to get to. It's a little out of the way for most people. It's not on the coast. It's 110, sometimes 115 out there.
Yeah.
So highly recommend go out in the morning or maybe at sunset and get 1 or 2 rides in.
But there's a lake out there too, so you can go bring a barbecue, go set up camp, go run it a couple times, jump in the lake. Like, you can make a whole day out of it.
Yeah, I bring my paddle boards and I just go, and I joke at the finish line, there's actually a nice place you can walk right down the lake and just go swim. Bring some water shoes and it'd be good. Maybe
I like it.
maybe some pro ride pads so you can get wet shoes. So, all right, cool, move on. So slow, I wanna make a real quick announcement. We're not gonna announce the sponsor of San Luis Obispo yet, cause it's kinda secretive, but I think it's pretty cool. I know
Yeah.
you know about it.
I know you know about it too.
I know, you know.
I know you know, I know you know.
Okay,
You know,
okay,
you
here
know.
we go. Here we
So
go.
I'm kind of excited to announce about this, and I think everybody else will. Kind of totally my thing, I think.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely, I can tell you it's a special edition collab, which is gonna be super rad, and everyone's gonna be pretty psyching on it.
So I'm hoping by the next Uno, which by the way I'm out because I'm on vacation, but Ben hopefully will announce that. So and I'm excited to see that. So Bodie putting it down, and hey, bro, that is fast.
Yeah.
I will say that I didn't think Floaty's time was beatable when he did that, and dude, so you must have loved that.
Yeah, San Luis Obispo, that was that big long one.
Hazards,
Yeah,
that ends
downhill.
like right at the beach.
All downhill.
How many laps you take on that?
I did. Was that 2?
Cause you guys ended up riding just straight up the course, right? You didn't take like the roundabout way?
Yeah, no, so we got there, basically, my story, the only ones I've hit are, we went down to, I've been too busy to travel around for this yet, and we went down to Los Angeles for the Meals on One Wheels and the Flux Store grand opening, and on the way down and on the way back, but mostly on the way back, I was with the Carve Creative boys, with Elijah and Ryan, and we were hitting a couple of them on the way up. So this one we pulled up to in the morning, and my extended battery's been frying my BMS's, so I had to switch back to a regular battery, so I didn't have extended battery at this one, and Elijah has a stock battery too, but we had a generator, so we went and ran one film lap, because we were filming, we were trying to like use our film lap as our sight lap, so we went up, and I think Elijah was on camera, and he and I bombed down the first time on our sight lap, and we were mobbing. I'm pretty sure Elijah's sight lap.
Please don't tell me that.
While he's holding the camera?
I think
Holding
his
the
sight
camera.
lap placed 8th. Yes. Yeah.
That's
nuts.
At the time.
And that's such a gnarly course up towards the top too, super rocky,
Yeah.
super steep, like sheer cliff on the side,
Dude,
really
the
sharp
first
rocks.
big right-hand turn, like, yeah, it starts like rocky kind of side cliff trail. The first right-hand turn is kind of slanted downhill, and if you were to like roll or flip off of it, that's kind of.
I did fall off of it, but
Really?
Is
not
that where you
really-
found out how
not-
there was poison oak?
Yes, exactly. Not really bad, but everybody's all afraid of Fresno because of the drops. I'm
Because of
way
drop-offs.
more afraid of.
Bro, Fresno's
hazards.
scary.
Really?
It's, well, also granted, I went like a mile past the finish line and kept racing because I didn't realize where the finish line was, and it's so sketch. But, yeah.
But San Luis Obispo, we hit the first one, hit our sight lap, and then I'm pretty sure that was just my second lap. It was either 2 or 3 laps, but since it was so long, I'm pretty sure we hit one film lap that killed like 40% or something going up and back. We got the shot, plugged our boards in for a little bit, shot a couple photos of me wheeling my Suron up that street because there's this really sick
Yeah.
angle where you can see like the curvature of the road and the coast, the little like outcropping, and I was hitting knee knock wheelies, fucking like sticking my tongue out and stuff. And then we grabbed the boards, went back up, and bombed down and hit a race lap. And then, yeah, pretty sure.
Then
So-
you did one more.
I think we just did 2, but I
Oh,
might
so-
just be an idiot and we did 3. They all are kind of like, we went boom, boom, boom and hit like 1 or 2 in a day for 3.5 days in a row. So they all are kind of like mudded together in my head.
Yeah.
So real quick, it does take a lot of battery to get up, but once you get up, it's all regen down. It's pretty steep. And if you don't have a generator like the Ballers, there's actually a hidden plug that's on the website. It's a whole list right down the street. And you could actually, or there's a really cool place for burgers and beer. It's like about 10 minutes out.
Sick.
So if you do want to do like a keep running it, you know, it's possible. It's just, it'll wear you out.
Yeah, plus the
It's a
lady
big
that runs the campsite there is super chill. And so go talk to her. She was obsessed with the one wheels, asking us 1,000 questions. She'll probably hook you up too.
Everybody's really cool. They have bells that you can grab. I have my own bell, and by the way, I'm going to post something on the Facebook. These little bells that you can buy on, like the mountain biker bells.
Yeah, let people know you're coming.
They're nice.
Yeah.
Now that I've been using it, I'm like, why haven't I been using this a lot longer? So something that I recommend, at least for this, because it's pretty tight and people can come up on you pretty fast.
Big time.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing is I got super lucky. Austin, I don't know if Austin ever was able to put up a time where he didn't get stopped
Yeah.
or like had to go around somebody.
Yeah.
Because this one's a long one and there's, it's big and long and it comes down probably just after halfway or like 3/4 way. Another hiking trail converges with the trail. So you can go up, and one of the reasons we were going up the course itself instead of going around is because we could scope it and see
Yeah.
if there was anybody
That's
hiking
smart.
up it. And so Austin, right before we showed up, Austin said that he went up, scoped it, it was clear, and then he was bombing down and ran into 2 equestrians
Oh,
and had
that's
to,
not
had
good.
to
Yeah.
go around them.
That's
So-
full dismount.
Yeah, that's full dismount. So I think he was having trouble keeping the trails clear, which is actually like one of the biggest challenges of this whole thing, and also one of the things that makes it the funnest.
Yeah.
Is it's super unpredictable, and we're doing this on open courses, public trails. So it's like you can be bombing down, and you see somebody off in the distance, and they don't know what's going on. Like you're like, come on, get out of the way, think fast, think
Yeah.
fast. But
On your
people are-
right.
To you're like in the mode, and you're thinking
Yeah.
quick, and you're picking lines, and you see them way out there. You're like, oh, I got time, they'll move. But to them, they're just like,
Yeah.
what's that?
Yeah.
And they're like, move.
It happened to me on Monterey on a runner on the last uphill, smoking fast lap, and I'm like, on your right, and he jumps to the right,
Oh,
knocks
I
me
hate
off the
people do
course.
that.
I'm like,
So I'll give everybody in the community props. We keep tight. We have what was called ambassadors. So we have at least 1 or 2 riders for each course, and they kind of keep the track of what's going on, and they know what, like Teddy tells me what's going on in Monterey, and everybody's been really cool. Like this is a 2-part series for me. What I want to do is I actually want to open up the ability to obtain access to all these trails, and me personally, that's how I feel we do it. Is guys like you and Bodie and good riders go out and kind of show that we're good ambassadors to these trails, and we fix them and we clean them and make sure that they're ready to go. And the community notices this stuff. I'll tell you right now, they do. So props to everybody for not screwing this up.
yeah, and at the end of the day, yield to everyone.
Yeah.
Hikers, equestrians, bikers. We're the new guys on the block, so we gotta yield.
It sucks, but it's part of life, and eventually maybe we get big enough that we can actually earn some more respect and not have to always be the guy that's apologizing.
Yeah.
That's
Some
it.
respect.
Well, and I mean, we always gotta take seriously our. Would you?
Let me try that kombucha.
What do you want, Booch? You
We
boys
can
want
talk.
Booch?
I haven't had the kombucha yet.
Oh, you want a McCosker?
Yes.
I got you.
What is an Oscar? Is that
Have
like
beer,
a?
have booch.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's like a Arnold Palmer kind of.
Pretty much.
Hey, I want a McCosker.
There you go.
So we're gonna move on here. 26 people on the board. Dan White's the local. Zach.
Shout out Dan White.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Dan's a good dude. Zach, who is actually the Carve Creative guy that was cruising with you,
Yep.
he's doing really well on the AM side. A little bit of the ability to hit so many courses that it helped him. Raquel hanging with the guys. So really cool trail. I'm enjoying it. I actually, my time's really bad because it was more of like I was building the course. So I need to go back out. I'm hoping that I have time to hit it one more time.
Boom, here you go.
Thanks
All right,
for that.
everyone's saying we gotta speak up
Yeah.
too, because they're having trouble hearing us, so talk loud, boys!
Yeah! Can we move that mic up maybe?
It's connected to the phone, so
Oh,
no,
okay.
this one's for the other cam.
Alright.
So, either way.
Alright, so let's go next. Las Vegas.
This
I
one was
want to hear more of
crazy.
your Bodie story. I want to hear it.
Alright.
Hey, I'm not even gonna say a word. I just want to hear it.
Alright, I'll break it down right now. So, basically, Vegas, the segment that is the Vegas race,
Yeah,
was already built as a segment when we all went out for the Let It Ride race. So, a lot of people actually put up a time because it's on course 2 of Let It Ride. So, it's
Three.
literally,
Three.
no, 3, yeah, it's literally the course 3 of Let It Ride. So, I had a time up that I think was on the leaderboard, and a lot of other riders had times up, but it wasn't the underground race circuit at the time. And when we were all racing, I don't think we had our Stravas on.
Some
We
of
had
us
to-
did, some of us didn't. Austin had his on.
It was still in
Yeah.
the building stages, and I know a lot of people hated the idea that we did Vegas, but the 2 reasons. I love Vegas, and 2, we were trying to suck in all you pros, and we knew eventually it would help do that.
Yeah, no, it did, and it's cool because, you know, we got extended family out in Vegas. We got our boy Joey Knuckles out there, who actually was Sever, who put on the whole Let It Ride event, so shout out to him for that. And it made it so that there was that one, like, outlier course that if you had to, you needed one last time, you could road trip out to Vegas, or, like, if you just wanted to hammer down and, like, get points on each course, you gotta get out to Vegas. There's, like, that one, like, pretty deep one.
I personally thought it was locked up. I thought it was not going to change since Let It Ride, so you surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah.
On a loader board, right?
I got lucky, yeah. So what happened, the way I got that time is I had my time from Let It Ride. We come back up from hitting, it'll take me a second to think of it, we hit a few of the race courses coming up from Los Angeles, and then we went from Monterey early in the morning, hit Monterey, drove back to Sacramento, had 20 minutes to fully unload our truck from the whole Los Angeles trip, threw everything inside, packed a day bag, grabbed our backpacks, took off to the airport. We literally had 20 minutes. We had our friend
That's crazy.
counting down 10 minutes,
That's crazy.
15 minutes.
Because Vegas is a crazy airport.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we scheduled it so that he'd have a layover in Vegas on his way to Oak City Shred Fest.
Yep.
That's what it was. And I was like, you cool with a few hours in Vegas? He's like, yeah, I'll go run the segment. So,
And by the way, it's 118. It was 118 that day.
Yeah, well, no, we didn't plan on running the segment yet.
well, I was just like, yo, you want a layover in
No,
Vegas?
we
And
were
you're like, yeah.
Sure, and we did it, and it
Who
was,
doesn't?
it ended up being a 4-hour layover.
Okay.
So we're on our way, we pack up our bags, we're on our way to the airport, and Rob of Flux Movement calls me up and was just like talking to me about some stuff from the weekend, and then he was asking me, because I had won almost every segment that I hit, like coming up back to Sacramento, so he hit me up and was congratulating me on it and asking me about it, and he's like, did you hit Vegas yet? And I said, yeah, but it was back at Let It Ride. And then Elijah's sitting next to me, he goes, dude, we have that layover. And then everybody kind of at the same time was like, oh shit, let's go hit the segment in Vegas on the layover. So we just kick into action mode. We have Rob end the call. We're like, all right, hold on, let's make a YouTube video about this. End the call us back, ask us about it. We like end the call, start the camera, film the whole video about it.
And Bootleg ain't close to the airport.
No.
It's in Boulder.
It's
It ain't
not.
Vegas,
No.
actually. So
Yeah, it's
that's a
not in
distance.
Vegas. It's 25-30 minutes away from the airport, no traffic. So we're like, okay, the only way we could do it is if Joey Knuckles is available. We call up Joey Knuckles, tell him the plan. He's like, I'm there. I got boards for you and everything. We were thinking about
Props to Joey.
props to Joey. Shout out to Joey. We were thinking about bringing a set of WTFs with us, and then like finding a homie in Vegas to loan us a board, take it apart, strap the rails on it, and then bring the rails to Oak City and like give them away as a prize or something was the original idea. Then Joey's like, no, I got you. I got W's on my board. We're good. We show up to the airport. It's Joey Knuckles and One Wheel Jungle Jamie Jukter. And we're like, what? They both have two fresh W rail boards, brand new W rails, brand new Trail Pros. Jamie's got the Craft and Ride One Tail Extreme. Joey Knuckles got the Cush High. They both got front concave, like sick setups. We showed up, we're like, oh my god. They pick us up. We cruise to the section. Joey busts out a drone. I hand Jamie my camera. We run a film lap, and then I ran, I think, 4 laps.
Somebody said
In 118 degrees.
It was all, yeah, mind you, it was 120 degrees outside. We show up, we get out the car.
I know what
And
that's
just
like.
sweat.
You can't breathe.
No, you can't. Like, as soon as you start breathing, my mouth, my nose, and my whole throat was just completely bone dry. And I'm pushing. I hit the first lap, set a better time, and I think I was 2 seconds behind Austin. I was like, fuck. Go hit one more, shave a second. Go hit one more, shave a second. Go hit one more, shave a second.
I love that
Tied
feeling.
Austin, and I'm like, oh my god! And I was like, you know what?
That's
I'm
the
gonna hit one
best
more.
feeling about Strava racing when you start cutting those
Yeah.
seconds.
You just keep hitting it, keep
Yeah.
hitting it, keep hitting it, keep hitting, keep getting PRs, but you don't get the.
So honestly, do
Don't
you
get
like
the
that
ground.
trail?
Yeah, it's a sick trail because it's like
It's so chunky, but
it's
I love it.
super chunky. But if you pick the right line, which I did, like the only reason I set that time is I, from very start to very finish, rode the perfect line at 100%.
You have
speed.
to. You have to beat that Austin time. And look how close everybody's times is. We got 1 second, 2 second. Tie for fourth, which you bumped those guys out, which really screwed up the whole point system because they all lost their third point, their third place points. Like we talked about, everybody trades points. The points aren't manufactured, they're traded at this point. So it's big. You bumped a lot of people down with that. Yeah.
Sorry guys.
So yeah, sorry Kyle and Dave and Neil.
I love y'all.
But anyway, yeah, like basically 9 seconds from 1st to 10th. That's close.
That's
So
close.
nothing has changed with that except for Bodie. That hasn't changed since Let It Ride. So good for you. 49 people on the leaderboard. Are we good with moving on?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Next, Los Angeles, the Whoops. This is the
We
only
got it
one.
back from you.
Dude, I can't believe
I
that.
know.
Dude.
So I'm telling you right now, Floaty is not going to lose first on this because no matter who goes there, he's going to go back and he's going to because he's local. He can spend as much time as he wants, and he loves this trail. He is, in his mind, I think he will not let anybody take him on this.
Yeah, I had a feeling he would do exactly what he did, which he did it. But also, I go down to LA frequently enough that I might have another chance to set a time.
Yeah. I'm hitting it next week for the first time, so
It's
not
a fun
that
one.
I'm going to beat you guys.
This
Get
is
to the
probably the
top, make
most
sure you
fun
go all the
course.
way up.
Like it's a little bit scenic, which is cool because it overlooks everything. It's up on the hill, but it's almost zero chunk and just rollers the entire way down, and all you do is pump as fast as you can. And you ride this whole course at 100%. There's maybe one speed check around a turn, and maybe even not. Maybe it's just
Well,
100% the whole way.
It depends. You can't go 100% over the bumps without jumping them. So if you
Were
can
you getting
jump,
air?
oh yeah,
Okay.
almost every single whoop, my tire left the ground.
Okay.
And that's the only way I was able to set that time is because I was blasting them all and not keeping my tire down. Because it's called whoops for a reason. The whole trail going down is like there's a bump here and then a bump and then a bump and then a bump and then a turn and then a bump 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 and then it's kind of flat and then there's a bump and then there's a turn and there's tons of whoops all the way down. So you can blast it. I'd say keeping your tire on the ground, you could probably hit it at like 85%, 90%, and keep your tire down on most of them. But to push 100%, you have to jump almost all of them.
Well, Floaty's mentioned that he's got a little bit of a advantage because he's kind of tall and lengthy, that he could kind of suck that up a little bit more, almost like, but I don't know. That's up to him. But
Got that organic suspension. Huh?
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So really, only thing Kyle came up on this, I think last week, probably for when everybody was in town. Kyle's not really racing this, but he kind of just pops up now and then, like unintentionally, I think.
I think he's been out there twice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then his time's bettered. Obviously, Tyler, I guess, just got off an injury, and he's been putting some times down. We'll see him on another.
Yeah, dude, he beat me on my own board. It was messed up. He came through, and I beat him, and I was like, all right. He's like, well, I got 10 batteries, so I guess I'm done. I'm like, take my board. I got plenty of battery. He jumps on the WTFs, beats my time. Shaves like 6 seconds off his time. Ridiculous.
I don't know who Noah Mead is. He just popped up on this. Do you guys know him? I have no clue.
Yo, I think that's One Wheel and Dealing.
Yeah, that's the finger flip guy.
One Wheeling and Dealing.
Oh.
Because he just came out to
He was
LA
shooting with flight fins.
flight fins.
Okay, so he
So
just
maybe
popped
that's
up on
him.
the board this week. Tied
tied
for
with
nights
Jesse.
with Jesse. So I'd like to see him on some other trails.
We got a battle right there. I say we fly
Yeah.
both out at the same time and I'm go head to head.
So crazy number here, 57. When I started this is not my intentions, guys. Like, not that I'm against it, but I never thought that we would have a segment with almost 60 people on it. That's insane.
It's tight. It's a fun course.
It's fun. I love what we're doing. It's just blown up, and I'm kind of just in for the ride at this point.
We all are, man.
Underground Racing League's the future!
All right, let's go to the next. Orange County. You guys hate OC. I liked OC.
Oh, this course is my nemesis, man. Right when we first got there, so thank you for fixing it. But right when we got there, and there's a super gnarly, chunky downhill section that broke everyone off.
Yeah.
I mean, even Austin got bucked on it super heavy. So there's that, and then right after that, there's this hard right-hand turn to a little uphill, and it was flooded with about 1.5 feet of water.
Yeah.
So you had to go off the course around this like bush or tree, and then come back on and try to keep momentum up the hill. You'd lose like 15 seconds off the damn thing. But thank you, Ryan. He came through, he fixed it, drained all the water, got us good to go again, and it's a fun one, but it's very challenging. There's a sketchy downhill spot that's really scary and dangerous, but if you ace it, it feels great. There's a lot of smooth, fun, fast stuff, and then the end is just non-stop, like cobblestone, river rock chunk that you gotta try to force yourself through. So I think that spot broke me off more than anything.
So question, if you guys remember, there's a jump section. You can either go straight through the jump section, or there's a ledge off to the left. Which way do you guys go?
So I thought left was going to be the fast line, and so I took left for almost every one of my runs, and then I realized that if you go straight through but hang a little bit right on that first drop down, there's a line where you don't have to get your tire in the ground, and you can take it about 85%
Okay.
down and then 100% out. So going straight through, I think is actually faster. I talked to Austin about it, and Austin agreed that the straight through is faster.
Well, for me, the left was faster, but
Yeah.
it was tricky because it's like traversing on a snowboard, and you have to stay on edge
Sideways.
and come out. But for me, as a heavier guy, I was able to slingshot out of it better and keep my speed up than coming back up and out.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I mean, if you're lighter, going straight through is the way to go, for sure. But either way, I think it's only a difference of maybe 2 seconds going through there, tops. So.
All right, not much changed on that. Good job. 34 on that leaderboard. Let's go next. Last one. Bow tie.
Yeah, this
It
was
was
44.
so chunked out by the time I got there. It was
Yeah.
You
insane.
missed out. If you would have, because you kind of were doing the filming thing and you were busy, I think if you would have hit that earlier, you probably would have just blasted through it. But you could literally watch the conditions deteriorate that day.
Dang. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there.
And what sucks for me is I felt like, oh, I can go faster. But as the conditions deteriorated, like, no, I can't. And it just, my times went down, even though I felt like I had it in the tank. I could go back out, but it's probably not worth maybe a couple seconds or the spots that I can get maybe for you. But
Yeah, if it rains, I'd like to go back there because my run, I'm 1 second behind Austin, and there's about a 1.5 to 2 second time shave line that I saw at the last minute before I finished, and so it's possible to shave at least 2 seconds off of bow tie as long as the conditions are good again. Because right now, at least last time I was out there, it was just a touch too chunky to really hit that first place spot.
the San Diego guys are very dedicated. I could totally see them going out there and spending a day fixing it.
It just
and
needs
then
rain.
trying-
It's
Yeah.
just too dusty. It's a lot. It's very similar to Vegas, where it's like dusty and rocky at the same time. So the more you ride it, the dust evaporates and the rocks stay.
Yeah. I liked it. It was surprisingly more enjoyable than I kind of thought. I really loved it. Especially, I'm not a pinner type guy because I'm heavier. I don't like those fast sections. But I gotta admit that dirt road at the beginning where you could just open it up was
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then to see Austin where he's almost sliding it around that first turn.
Yeah, that first turn you drift around it because you
Yeah.
can send it at 100%. If you go wide, inside wide,
Yeah.
you drift the whole thing.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
cool.
fun.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. Kyle coming up at third with a new time.
Hey.
That's his local trail, so that's new. Michael Watts, I believe that's he came up a little bit, but still being held down. Tyler James, that's completely new right there. Tyler putting in some more times.
Oh, that's what they were doing the other day. They
Yeah,
posted a
That's why they're riding together. Yeah.
So
Dude, and Tyler's got a blown ACL right
He's
now
got
and a
broken
broken hand.
and
He's in a cast and his knee doesn't work and he's still setting times. That guy's an animal.
Cool.
Yeah.
He's unstoppable.
So 44 on that leaderboard. There's a couple little slides I want. Maybe we'll come past this and we can talk about some other stuff.
Hey, Raquel,
Yeah,
holding it down. There we go.
I was chasing her that day. She rode and I was like, I'm gonna go see if I can keep up with her.
Yeah.
It didn't happen.
It's also, it's not fair. She was having Austin teach her. She did an Austin tutor session on that one and she shaved 4 seconds off her time after the one lap with Austin where he showed her all the fastest lines. She shaved like 4 seconds off the next lap. So
Nice.
having
Yeah,
Austin
it,
there
it
is
is
helpful.
really about your lines on that, like apexing like a race car. I see how the guys come out wide to hit that coming in that off that dirt road,
Yep.
like the apex out and then just bomb in there.
Yep.
So there's a lot of like reading or learning that trail to get it fast to cut those seconds.
For sure.
So let's just zoom through these. I don't want to get too much into it. Let's see if what next slide is. Oh no, actually I'm sorry. We got to go through the amateurs. So amateurs, way we split it up is that now we have an amateur ranking, a pro ranking, and a women's ranking. I talked about this in depth last time. There's been a lot of drama on who's amateur and who's pros.
Right.
Let me run it by you guys. I don't want to talk too much about it, but my opinion coming from other board sports and even pro sports is when you get paid to ride, that's the definition of a pro, right?
Yeah, but one wheeling's so in its infancy too. I feel like you
There is
can
no pro yet.
compete in pro
Yeah.
and not get paid. Like I mean, Raquel might correct me if I'm wrong about this, but like wakeboarding, there's different classes, and the
Yeah.
pro class. Like I've competed in the pro class at Cable before, but I am nowhere near pro. No one's ever. I've never even had to sponsor wakeboarding.
Yeah.
So it's like that just means it's the top level, which is the one where you want to be. Because if you're winning pro, I feel like the bragging rights are way bigger on winning pro than women am.
So believe it or not, a lot of people are complaining that they want to be an amateur and not pro.
Sandbaggers, dude.
Well, and
Sandbaggers.
so where we line that up is, well, you know, and then here's where the gray area is what if you're sponsored like by a board shop? Hey, I'm helping you make sure your board's running. I'm gonna give you some bucks to go to Vegas to hit that trail. Like, you know, as an AM,
Dude, that's pro.
yeah.
That's pro.
If there's
So-
a company down to pay money to get you out somewhere to set a time,
Dude, if you're even a
Probably-
sponsored rider,
yeah.
if you're a sponsored rider and you're even getting gear for free
Yeah.
for one wheel, that's considered pro.
So everybody out there right now, what I'm saying is just give us some leeway this first year. We're not making money out of this. We're just trying to do the right thing. There's some people that feel they're amateurs, some people that don't. We get complaints. My opinion, and maybe you guys can look at this list, and we have a list of ambassadors that are pretty much the who's who of one wheel. I think we all kind of agree on this, that that's kind of a fair list. You know, so it is what it is. But next year, what we're trying to get away from is that we don't want the flip-floppers. We don't want the sandbaggers, right?
Yeah, thank you.
We don't want the flip-floppers or the sandbaggers, the guys that, oh, I'm going pro this week, but oh man, the competition's a little too heavy on this. I think I need to go amateur. You know, give us some time, but this is what it is. I think it's fair. Michael Watts, and legit, he is an amateur in my opinion, and he's gotten serious and he's running all the trails. Drew, good rider. So really what's going to happen is Drew and Michael are going to be fighting for first.
Yeah, I don't see anyone on this list as sandbagging, I don't think.
No,
Nah, I don't see any on there.
except for me. No, I'm just so I'm going to announce right now, I am not riding in the finals. I got too much stuff to do. I have a little bit of advantage because I know the finals location. So I'm not in that ranking, but I'm going to keep my name up there because if for some reason I'm able to pull out first, I'm taking that trophy. But I don't think I can beat Drew and Michael. But anyway, we got me, Teddy, Zach from Carve Creative. Got Zach's pretty good. And he's a cameraman.
Yeah.
Jordan.
He's really sick at tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, super dope. He's got those gold floaty rails too, those super rare 50 of 50 made.
Yeah.
So.
Gavin Ferris, who's a Grom.
Juvenile.
Yeah. Jamie. So this is some complaints. Jamie is a pro. But Jamie's also a Clydesdale, and I had a conversation on the ambassador page. My opinion is it's more than fair that Jamie's on the ambassador because of weight.
Yeah.
I'm a heavy rider, and I know how hard it is to keep up. Look, if you guys can't keep up with Jamie and you're an amateur, that's on you, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, that's totally fair. Jamie's an awesome rider, but he also has a disadvantage because he's a big dude.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of props to Jamie. Another Grom, and so that kind of rounds out the 10. Let's go to women's.
Hey.
There it is. We all know that Raquel's kind of unbeatable, right?
Yeah, I've known that for years. I stopped competing with Raquel a while ago.
Yeah.
It's too fast.
So Tori's tearing it up. I think she's hit almost all trails. Mercedes, she's getting good coaching
Shout out
by
Mercedes. By Austin.
Austin.
She's got the top coach right there.
Yeah. The question is Brenda, Allison, and the rest of the crew really going to get serious? Not that they're not good riders, they just haven't really hit a ton of trails.
Yeah, they just need to hit more trails.
And that's okay. I mean, if they don't want to hit trails, but here's the reality: is right now we're going to bring 3 women into the finals. A lot of people might say that's unfair. We should have 5. Well, here's the deal: if the competition gets to the point where these girls are out really like battling, and there's maybe some names that come in, then you know what? We'll wild card the women.
Yeah.
I want 5 women. I just don't want to put 5 women in just because we need 5 women.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to hit a
That's
number.
perfectly
And I mean,
reasonable.
look at the difference between 3rd and 4th. It's double the points down here, right?
Yeah.
So if it starts to get way closer, then that makes sense to start pulling 5. But if we have such a big gap there,
Yeah.
it probably doesn't make sense.
And if the point system's a little confusing, what we did is basically now we have 1 point system, everybody, and it all works out the same. It's just the points. I didn't separate the women from like the men, but it all comes out in the wash. It's still who's the best, and Raquel's just running away with it. So ladies, get out there, put some times out. I really want you to be at the finals. You're just gonna have to show me that you guys are interested. That's all. Period.
Yeah, Allie and Brenda, they got everything it takes.
They
Just
do,
gotta do
for
it.
sure. Yeah, they're right in there. If you guys hit the tracks, you'll get it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, you got to put in the time.
Yeah,
but-
we did 2 separate road trips to hit all of them, so it takes a lot.
All right, you guys good with that? Next, big one.
Hey!
Bowie number 2, look at you. And speaking of double the points, though, Austin's kicking the shit out of you, boy.
Holy.
So
I got some road
yeah.
tripping to do. Hey, boss, can I get some time off?
Yeah, you got it paid? Of course. Yeah.
Jeff and Dave tied up, so that can go any direction right there. Michael Watts came way up after he started riding some of the trails. Neil down at 7. Jesse, Raquel hanging with the boys on the overall status.
up there.
Yo,
Elijah.
Elijah, shout!
Elijah, and here's the deal with Elijah. He's kind of like the sleeper because there's some trails, like example TFL, he hasn't even really run. So he goes to TFL and puts down just say like a top 10. That's gonna bump him up to 6.1, and all of a sudden he's tied with Raquel, and then a couple more points here and there, and he's
Yeah,
got it.
he could do one day TFL River Run, Sidewinder, and Blue Oak, Fresno. He could do that in one
Don't have
day.
him come to Blue Oak.
He would smash Blue Oak.
He would go fast.
I mean,
Well,
he
here's
could do
the-
that, and he could jump up into. He could be passing me.
Well,
He
here's
is,
the deal: is I still need to hit Fresno, Tahoe, and Santa Cruz,
and TFL River Run because
and TFL
Oh,
River
yeah.
because I've only done a sight lap. So all those he also needs to hit. And Elijah and I are heterosexual life partners, so we are probably gonna go do that together. And he's probably gonna make his way up that list. For
So
sure. 'Cause
what-
Elijah, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Everybody needs to hear this. Elijah is also one of those people that has the speed and is just getting the line choice and coordination down. At Let It Ride, they got us up against each other in the semifinal qualifier round to get into the qualifiers, and I was giving it 100%. He was on W rails, I was on W rails. I was giving it 100%, and we basically photo finished the first race, and I only beat him in the second race because he went down, but he closed the gap. He pushed hard and didn't get smoked that bad. Elijah is really fast.
And as an
That's it.
outsider, I
And
always
he's
thought he was a
super light.
trick guy, to be honest.
I mean,
Yeah,
he is
he
a
is.
trick guy. That's the
Yeah.
crazy thing about him. He's crazy well rounded, and he'll only get better too because like he's got the weight and the like physique for it.
Yeah.
He's got that dialed. He's almost got the board control. He's like so close to having that. And then all he's got to do is like line choice and just education on line choice, and he'll be beating all of us.
Well, I
Yeah.
brought donuts to TFL today to try to like get some weight going.
Yeah, I heard that. While I'm sitting there editing, I hear you walk in. I brought donuts for Elijah to give him some weight.
Yeah, so I mean, Elijah coming out of nowhere, good for him. That's what this is all about, right? Like, not just like no-namers like Michael Watts, but Elijah kind of throwing his hat in the ring as a racer for the first time and going, wow, cool. That's you know, I don't see that with like Race for the Rail or even like, because it's kind of one and done type of thing. So
Well, and it's also Race for the Rail is hard to access.
Yeah.
Like, in order to get to Race for the Rail, you have to qualify at one of their events, or you have to, in the past, travel all the way out to California to be in the race. The cool thing with this is like, if you live anywhere in California, you can access this. And
Yeah.
like, as you know, as this gets bigger, like, you'll see names like myself and all the like diehard one-wheelers that have made that their life, and so we'll travel around and we'll do the things. But then also, Joe Schmoes that you don't really know, maybe you recognize them off Facebook or something, have the ability to pull up and they're like, oh, you guys think you're hot shit, alright, well, they hit a couple and you're like, damn!
Yeah, no,
who's this guy?
we have locals that come into the shop all the time. They're beating my times on TFL River Run. It's like, didn't you just start one wheeling like 6 months ago? They're like, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, they're just smoking my time. So.
My experience is, here's the difference between guys like me and you. I had to ride Orange County literally from morning till night. I busted my butt on that. I got, like, you should talk to Victor, who's the local. I finally put my fastest time out, and I beat Raquel. I'm like, yeah, woo! And then like 10 hours later, she just like beat me. So the reality is, I get it, you know. I have to put the work in to try to come up with you guys. But that's what this is all about, and that's what I enjoy about it, you know. Who's willing to put in the work?
Hell yeah.
Really, you know, and that's what I love about it. So yeah, cool. All right, good job, guys. Let's just burn through the last couple slides. I kind of want to explain what's going on with the. So go back one, I think.
You want to wait till
One more.
Two clicks.
2 clicks.
No.
No, the other way.
Yeah, one more.
All right, so we do have Groms, we do have Clydesdales, we do have Over the Hill. It doesn't mean that you're going to get, oh, if I'm number 1, I'm going to get an invite to the finals. We're just not big enough at this point, and I really don't think that's not what this is about. But here's the Clydesdales. Jamie's killing it, Mike, Eggs, JD. Some of these guys I call super Clydesdales. They're
Yo,
really
Travis
amazing.
is up here?
Let's go, Travis.
Hey, okay.
So cool. Here's the beauty of the underground is once we get this dialed in, I can take stats and put in like filters, and we could see, like, say if this went national, we could make it to where you could put in your own filters if people had access to this and go, how do I stack up against the TFL guys? How do I stack up against guys that are over 250 pounds? How do I stack up against guys that are over 45 years old? The possibilities are endless, and all of a sudden you start feeling like, well, I'm about the speed of Raquel, so I'm gonna see if I can keep up with her.
Yeah.
Like, even though she's in a different division, now I can chase her every day of my life if I want to see if I can. And maybe, you know, she's gonna continue to get better too. But at the same point, I have a benchmark that I need to hit.
Mhm.
That's the beauty of all this. So go to the next one. One click.
Oh, you don't.
I know, I think it just resets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is the Groms. So Adonijah and Jafare, the Hawaiians. I really want to give a Grom a wild card if it comes down to it. I love the Groms, dude. I mean, I love Clydesdales too, but
Yeah.
Groms are killing it.
Are you having the Groms race? If this did happen, would they be racing with the amateurs or
Yeah.
with the pros?
with the amateurs?
Okay.
And the way that this works, it's not a standard like straight race. So there's going to be some kind of things that kind of even it out. And it's all downhill. So I mean, that's not really a benefit to the Groms, but it is what it is. I mean, it's like Tony Hawk back in the day competing against the old dudes. You know what? Like Jafare or Adonijah, if you want, you may lose, but just the fact that you get a race out of 15 people that are the best riders in the world, like chalk it up as like.
Yeah, and I don't know if age has that much to do with it either, because like Dom won race for the rail at 15,
Yeah.
right? He should have been racing in the Grom race, and no, he raced with the big boys and won race for the rail. You've got that kid that Bob Stokes Shop is sponsoring right now that whips around on a pint, who's just fast as hell, and he's like 14.
Yeah.
Dashel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dash is on there.
So the kids are coming up. They
So-
got the weight
Yeah.
for sure.
So, you know, it's cool to see the future, and this is maybe kind of the future of giving these guys a stage. Yeah, Dash is on there. And
Oh, really? That's so cool.
and honestly, Dash would probably do a lot better. It's just that he hasn't hit a ton of trails.
He's also on a pint. So
He's on a pint.
His max speed
Yeah.
is lower.
Pretty soon he's on a growler.
Hey.
Yeah, we just sent some rails out there, so.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Next. All right. So, hey, look at this.
Oh, that's no
this
accident.
is the old man group, right? right here. So I'm an old man. And the only benefit I have is that I've hit a lot of trails. So check it out, look at it. It's kind of cool.
Oh, watch out, Neil's coming for you.
Yeah, Float Ninja. All right, next.
Was that Neil's fun stuff?
Yeah.
That's the guy.
All right, so here's the pros going down further. So what's kind of cool is Ori's in there, and Ori's only hit like 2 trails because he's not from around here.
Yeah.
Tyler hasn't hit a whole lot of trails, but he's doing really well. Isaac, he ain't even racing, and he's in there.
Tyler's about to jump up. He's on a road trip right now, and he's
Okay.
going to be swinging through, hitting all the trails. So next week, or maybe 2 weeks from now, but probably next week, he's going to be probably top 10.
Okay, cool. Brandon, who's on here, which by the way, he may be our invite from the SoFlo event if
Yeah.
he can hold it down.
Yeah,
I think he's
he's
the
in the
number
lead
1 right
right
now, or tied with Jamie. So we are inviting SoFlo and the Mile High guys
Sweet.
to represent those sides. It's going to be a blast. And Noah has talked about, I know Noah's really fast. I met him at Let It Ride, and he's talking about going to Florida to take it to Brendan. So we'll see what happens. I mean, keep that in mind that there's other races going on that we're trying to kind of bring in. I don't want to control them, but at the same point, like, I want them to be involved in this.
Yeah, just say, hey, send us your best.
Yeah, that's what I basically
Send us
said.
your best, we'll all race, we'll find out which coast takes it.
And hopefully we can support them enough to get their airlines to make sure that they're down here. I mean, you know, we've talked about that, and you know, this is the future. It ain't just California. I want the whole country to come and
Yeah.
put it down.
So we got time to grow.
Yeah,
This is the first year, and the amount of work you put into this has been insane.
it's way more than I expected.
Yeah.
In like
This
3
is supposed to
months.
be just like a fun little Strava
It was,
thing.
yeah, it was supposed to be like a couple dudes in Monterey racing their own trails,
Yeah.
and then it was like, but here's the deal, like, I'm obsessive, and there's no way that I can do things like half speed, and it just started, and then as the community got involved, I'm like, well, yeah, I'll do that. So by the way, like, we got an app in the works right now,
Sick.
like our own Strava app.
Okay.
It's,
Oh
Now,
shit! I'm
this
saying
is-
we need that.
Is this just some world premiere announcement that you just throw out?
I'm
out
not
of
making
nowhere?
any
This is the first
profit.
I'm hearing
I'm
of
not
this.
making any it is. It's kind of a background thing. By the way, who's helping me is the One Wheel Community Edition guys.
Cool.
So nothing official. I mean, maybe, you know, we'll have something in a year, maybe not. I don't know, but I'm testing it right now.
Are you telling me we might not be ice skating eventually?
No, we may not.
Hey.
And when we have that control to be able to, like, say I want to make Clydesdale's 215 and not 225. We don't have to. We all race together on our own app. When we can control, like, where maybe a start line photo and a start line or a finish line photo. I mean, when we have that control and we're not isolated into Strava where we're not really welcome. Let's be honest, we're not. It could be a game changer.
I agree.
Right.
I'm about it.
100% agreed. Yeah, I
But
was
no
doing-
promises.
While I was doing the circuit, I was having my mind blown of just how fun and just epic and amazing the whole experience was. Like, doing the underground circuit and being a part of it, and like being able to show up, and the local community ambassador welcomes us and shows us a spot. We put our Strava times up, and you go at your own pace, and just the whole thing has been so beautiful. And the whole time I just kept thinking to myself, like, this is the future. Like,
Yeah.
This is the future.
It's fun.
This is what needs to be, because race at the end of the day, like, Race for the Rail is cool, but it's a marketing campaign.
Yeah.
You know, like, this is racing. This is
Yeah.
like so fun. You could go out there with a cell phone and a one wheel, put up some times, have a blast. And I was thinking about how sick it would be if there was an actual, like, app for one wheeling, and there was specific, like, one wheel
Yeah.
features.
Yeah, the
It's-
underground race is sick because it's decentralized and there's no gatekeepers. The only thing you need is a phone
Mhm.
Yeah.
and a one wheel. That's
and
it.
hopefully one day One Wheels gets a brain about them and starts working with the community, and we can have them be a part of that app. And, like, on the app, you'd also be hooked up to your board, and there would be, like, average tilt angle, average pitch
Yeah.
angle, average
There-
RPM of your board.
there-
Yeah, here's the shaping that they wrote at the time.
shaping.
There's so much possibilities that my mind is kind of like spinning. And as a guy that has a full-time job, I'm like, okay, how deep do I get into this
Yeah.
rabbit hole, you know?
I was one of those guys once.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we do this.
Making float plates out of your garage,
Yeah.
going, man, what am I gonna do with this?
It's all good.
Yeah,
So,
cool.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, I think anyone that's still hanging around, if you guys aren't racing in the underground right now, I would suggest first off, download the app called Strava, S-T-R-V-A.
STRAVA.
AVA.
You
I
can
can't
use it for free.
spell. Yeah, it's free app.
It's free, totally free.
You
That's
don't
the
have to get the paid version. Some people were confused about that. Just download the free version. All you have to, and then in order to find all the courses and everything, go to theundergroundrace.com, and it's got all of them. It's got links to the Strava. You just click on it on your phone, and it opens it up in Strava. It's super easy, super user friendly. See if there's any tracks around you, and go race one and see where you stack up.
It has a link to the trailhead, so you can actually Google map just straight to the trailhead. Super easy. There's 10 of them across the state, including Vegas. Super easy to access. I mean, if you're in California or Vegas, it's so easy.
Yeah.
And I thank the sponsors, Jeff, the Float Life. You know, we're not charging anything. This is totally free. And I think we're gonna have about $2,000 to $3,000 pot for the finals, and that's all coming from jersey sales and from sponsorships.
Sweet.
So to do that the first year, like originally I didn't even want to do sponsors, and I was kind of like, dude, but this is crazy. It's just insane. I never thought that we'd be able to give $2,000 away to a winner.
Dude, more on that. The trophy
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
is super. I'd rather have the trophy than the money, to be
Wait till you
honest
see
with
the
you.
cup.
Well, there's gonna be a cup.
That's for the finals.
Dude,
Oh,
I
man.
have to go take back Monterey so I can have the Monterey sack rail.
You
Dude.
got it.
I really wanted the Los Angeles rail.
We'll get the hometown spot right here
Oh,
first.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's priority number
So
one.
we-
I think I might go do that today.
So, well, I'm gonna go ride it again. So I don't want to cut you guys off. We're probably at like an hour.
Let's cut it.
Yeah, I got like
So,
8 videos. to
These
edit.
guys got like
Yeah.
stuff to do, and I'm just like some bum that comes in on my day off to like. So anyway,
Comes
sorry
in, drinks all our beer. And
Yeah. Hey, where's the beer?
Man.
So thanks for hanging out. My beer's been gone like twice, and so I appreciate it. Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
All right.
Wow.
See you next one.
Bye, guys.
See y'all, my friends.
See you later. You. Thanks for coming to the live. Now we end it. Do I want to stop? Yeah, I want to stop.